anyone should be involved in this storyline, finding out about Haley's scheme, it should be Naomi. Instead of having her in a storyline about some cancer gene secret or just always worried about Jacob, why isn't Naomi the character that is involved with slowly unraveling that Haley is a scam artist? Why? Bad writing on the show, perhaps? Probably, because that seems to be what makes up this show these days. What's up, everybody? Here to talk about today's Friday episode of Beyond the Gates. Want to apologize if there's background noise for construction. I guess Leslie is making a shouse near me as well. But I must continue on and discuss today's episode. Although before I discuss yet another boring episode of this show, I do want to discuss the news that has come out over the past 24 hours that Beyond the Gates is the last show that CBS is making a decision on if they're going to cancel or continue it for another season or more. They have decided on their prime time over at CBS, so that leaves Beyond the Gates as their final scripted show to make a decision on. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but if it does end up being a bad thing, I think these two current head writers will be to blame as to why they get canceled, because the creativity just is not there. Now, to me personally, looking at the numbers, looking at the consistency of the ratings over the past several months now, I mean, I think looking at it objectively, as someone that's not enjoying the current writing whatsoever, even objectively at the numbers though, I do think the show should be renewed for at least another season. Give it another try to maybe improve upon where we currently are. But we'll see if they get the chance to do so. Before we get into today's episode, I think I should also maybe say that it was another episode that I didn't enjoy. And I, to me, feel like this has been the most boring week of the show. There's been other boring weeks, but like with the Impaler storyline taking up most of this week, it was certainly, in my opinion, the most boring week of the show, because not a whole lot of drama happened outside of a confrontation between Leslie and Darlene. There was literally no other high drama this entire week. So I will start with the only thing I enjoyed about today's episode, and then we can talk about the things that I found bad or boring. June and Samantha got into it at the end of yesterday's episode, where Samantha brought up the cotillion and June still doesn't want to go be a part of the cotillion, and Samantha said that June needs to stop being selfish and be a mother for once. June apologized for not being able to give Samantha what she wants, and Tyrell was also upset with Samantha, and Nicole walked in seeing the drama unfold. Tyrell told Nicole that Samantha was trying to guilt trip June, but I think Samantha was just speaking out of emotions. And when Tyrell went to go talk to June and came back with June, June said she's okay and that Samantha spoke her truth. And Tyrell is saying he doesn't know why Samantha cares so much about the cotillion. But Samantha says that even though Tyrell doesn't care about the cotillion or Jessica doesn't care about the cotillion, it does mean a lot to Samantha right now. So that is why she wants her biological mother to be a part of it. And I thought that June and Samantha had a good little heartwarming talk about how June was saying it warms her heart that Samantha wants her at the cotillion, but says that with people like Francesca there, always talking crap to Samantha because of June's past, June thinks that everyone at the cotillion will just judge June and see her as an addict and a bum, which is how June thinks people will always see her because that is her history. And I thought some of those lines were powerful and kind of true to life. June did say that she doesn't want to like ruin her babies or the way they're seen in the light. She's doing all this to like protect them from all of this negativity. But Samantha told June that she is proud of being her daughter and wants this to be a celebration of the person she is today and everyone in her life that's helping her make her be that way. So June by the end did finally agree that she will go to the cotillion if that is what Samantha wants. So I'm kind of glad we kind of wrapped up that little bit of drama between June and Samantha here. They did have good scenes today, though. I will say that the the Impaler part of this storyline continued today with Smitty looking in Nicole's computer and Naomi walking in on him. And his excuse was that Nicole isn't around. He was going to leave a note for Nicole about some cotillion stuff. I guess it worked with Naomi. Then Smitty got a call from Jacob to meet up in the stairwell, and Smitty was already at the hospital, so he could do that easily. So they met up at the stairwell. I guess at least it wasn't the alley. But, like, I am officially over this storyline. It seems to be going nowhere. It is just some of it's happening off screen. There's no real stakes to it. And watching Smitty and Jacob in the stairwell being afraid of, like, footsteps, which happened to be Ashley walking down the stairs, talking to Grayson on the phone, was the moment I decided that I don't know how much longer I can actually pay attention to this storyline when I'm watching live. So I might be adding the Impaler storyline to the Joey and Vanessa scenes, or I might just turn the channel when that storyline is on, unfortunately, because they are not doing a good job with this. You know, Jacob was just upset with Smitty today for getting on Nicole's computer. And, you know, I guess Jacob had good reason to be concerned because by the end of the episode, Nicole did realize that someone may have been in her office making adjustments to her computer. Unfortunately, on the Trash and Joey side of things, Trash was happy today that the heart attach is making more money with her in charge, which makes Joey happy as well. But then Vanessa got called by Lynette, who's looking for a penthouse, and that happened to be at the time that Randy came in to see Joey. So when Vanessa left, Joey questioned Randy about how Lynette is going to be able to afford a penthouse. Now, where is she getting that kind of money? Randy tried to play it off, even though Joey called Lynette his sneaky link. Joey has put it together that Haley is probably footing the bill for Lynette, which actually means that Bill is footing the bill. So Joey told Randy he doesn't expect Randy to tell him the answers, but Joey likes a good puzzle and he's going to try and figure it out. And I'm sure there might be some people that watch today's show and were like, oh, Joey continues to figure things out in the Randy and Lynette and Haley scheming plot. But to me, it was kind of just more of the same that we've been seeing. It's just another storyline with the pacing that is way too slow. And I personally am not excited for Joey to be the one to figure those things out. In fact, I don't even like that Tomas and Kat are involved in this storyline with Bill and Haley and Randy. If anyone should be involved in this storyline, finding out about Haley's scheme, it should be Naomi. Instead of having her in a storyline about some cancer gene secret or just always worried about Jacob, why isn't Naomi the character that is involved with slowly unraveling that Haley is a scam artist? Why? Bad writing on the show, perhaps? Probably, because that seems to be what makes up this show these days. Randy did call Haley to meet at one point about Lynette, telling her how Lynette is not going to leave town after all and is trying to get a penthouse. And Haley doesn't want to think how much that penthouse in Logan Circle is going to cost her. Well, Haley in these scenes today didn't seem as upset as I thought she should have been. In fact, she was joking with Randy about how Randy using his private parts to try and get Lynette out of town is making her want to stay more, which is true, but I don't think Haley should be the one joking in the scenes today when it is her scheme that might be crumbling because of what Lynette is doing. I almost liked the fact that Deanna was on today, but of course one of the most interesting parts of the episode today was not on a lot. Deanna was probably only on for a few minutes. She was on the phone with somebody telling them to do their part. Don't know who that is or what that means, but hopefully Deanna actually does have a plan, because her conversation with Joey didn't really do it for me today. She approached Joey to tell Joey to stay the hell away from her mother. And Joey's whole spill was that Joey can understand why Deanna doesn't like to see her mom with some other man, but it's not fair for Deanna to try and control her mother's life, and Deanna wouldn't want her mother to do that to her. Joey went on his usual diatribe about how he adores everything about Vanessa. Deanna called out Joey for being condescending, which was about the only part of these scenes that I actually liked. And then Joey said he wants to prove to Deanna who he really is. And unfortunately, Deanna said she will let him prove it if he wants to try to do that, which is basically just rinse and repeat what happened with Donnell months and months ago. But this show loves to rinse and repeat. But I'm still hoping that they will at least have Deanna have her hooks and Vanessa about the situation. Deanna ended the episode telling Joey that he can do some proving to her right now if he is truthful about a question, and that question was if he and Vanessa were having an affair before her dad died. We'll see if Joey answers that honestly or not, but I'm not gonna get my hopes up that it actually leads to anything interesting. Then we got to scenes today between Vanessa and Nicole, which just pissed me off because they continue to write Vanessa as the worst character on this show. And it has to be purposely at this point if they are trying to make her one of the most annoying things about this show, because her asking Nicole for an apology today for leaving the double date was already huge audacity. But then Vanessa told Nicole not to act like her mother. She needs a supporting friend, and if she can't do that, then they have nothing to say to each other. In reality, Vanessa just wants her friends to be her enablers. And I guess right now Danny is wanting to continue to enable Vanessa, but at least Nicole doesn't seem to want to do that anymore, which is a nice change of pace, I guess. But Nicole rightfully called out Vanessa for wanting to end a friendship, a long-time friendship, over a bad double date. And Nicole called Vanessa out, saying that if she's going to prioritize a man over people she has known for a long time, including her own children, then she is being ridiculous at sacrificing everyone for a man she has barely known for months, which had Vanessa shout out like a 14-year-old that she loves the man. She just loves Joey so much. Anyway, Vanessa got even more shittier, throwing it in Nicole's face that she is the one in a monogamous relationship right now for once and not Nicole. And then had the balls to say that Nicole didn't even try to get along on the date, even though it was clearly Joey who was pushing buttons and getting upset. So it was kind of more of the same. Vanessa defending Joey and being a terrible friend to Nicole, and Trash just continues to show us that she has literally not a single redeeming quality, and it's why the only thing to root for in this entire bad storyline with Trash and Joey is that Trash loses everything, I guess, because I don't really know what else to root for. Although in her scenes with Joey early in the episode, she was talking about again how maybe she should be involved in more of Joey's dealings because she's doing so well with money with the heart attached thing. Maybe she could get even more money for Joey with his other shady dealings, which again made me think maybe they should just make Vanessa the Impaler, because it would explain why she is such a terrible person if she's just a big villain like the Impaler. But I don't see the show doing that, even though I don't even know if that's a good idea, like I said the other day, but it's an idea to make Vanessa make a little more sense. The only other thing that happened today was Madison getting this storyline out of nowhere where she is getting a subpoena because she is being sued by some random person because of her mother. Her mother, always doing natural remedies, said something on a website that Madison, who is a doctor, approved of some natural remedy. So now somebody is trying to sue Madison. It's literally impossible to care about this storyline because we've still never met Madison's mother. The storyline with Madison and her mother originally took place off screen. So now that this is happening on screen, why would your audience care? This is a lesson that these head writers seem to never want to learn and adjust. But I guess the one thing that was almost likable about this Insta story for Madison was that Naomi and Bill were kind of working together as lawyers, giving her advice where Bill wanted her to take a deal. Naomi said that the facts are on Madison's side. Bill worries about a jury. Madison doesn't even know if her mom will back her up. But in the end, Madison wants to fight in court with Naomi repping her, and Bill said he will be her co counsel. So I like that Bill and Naomi might work together on a case. But am I at all riveted by said case? Not so much. And unfortunately, by next week's preview, which I will talk about on Sunday if I have the time, because I will have to record it again today like I did last week, it kind of just looks like more of the same, which tells me it's going to be another boring week beyond the gates. We'll see if the show gets renewed this month. Last year the renewal announcement didn't come until May, but everyone's saying it will be earlier this year if they are renewed. I do still hope they get renewed. Like, at the end of the day, I have all these complaints, but I want a soap opera to succeed. I do think if they do get a renewal, they need to make some changes in the writing room. But I've been preaching about this for all the soap operas for years now, and only one show made a writing change in Days of Our Lives, and I don't even think that writing change paid off. I think all the soaps need new blood. These old heads, they don't have it anymore. They just don't got it.